The Game of the Week is brought to you by Valley Regional Hospital, where it's all about staying healthy. La Valley Building Supplies for home improvement and construction, from concept to completion. Kasasa, free checking that pays, now available at Claremont Savings Bank. And HR Clough, the home energy specialist and Kearsarge Heating Oils.
Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, as we're set to begin the fourth quarter here in Hanover. A little mix-up on the snap. Stafford looking one way, looking the other way, and definitely somebody got their signals crossed on that one. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Stay tuned at the end of today's gridiron matchup for the Valley Regional Healthcare Staying Healthy Preventative Play of the game.
3rd and 7 is the official call on the scoreboard from the 48-yard line of the Marauders. Stafford dropping back. Has a man open over the middle of the field, and a nice completion there. First down, Marauders.
And that was Sam Ives with the reception there. Doing a great job of locating the ball, making the adjustment, reeling in the catch. And Stafford really put that ball where no Generals defender could get to it. It was a great play all around.
So 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Stafford under center. This one goes to Putnam, who has had some good success, and that'll continue on that play where Putnam gets to the 16-yard line. So 2nd and 5, a nice 5-yard pickup. Hanover has got to move here. 10.5 minutes to go in the game. They are down 23 points, so that's 3 touchdowns. 2 of them they'll need to convert the 2-point conversion. Stafford with a fake pitch and then gives to Mosenthal up the middle. No, excuse me, number 21.
That's Simon Roach.
First carry for him tonight. Drops back a couple yards and bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, really so far in the second half, I would say Hanover has been the more dominant team, but under 10 minutes now to go, I don't think there's going to be enough time to make a comeback.
Stafford dropping back, going to the end zone, and a penalty flag comes out from the back judge. It looked like maybe the defenders and the receiver's feet got tangled up, but it looked pretty incidental to me, but nonetheless, they'll call a penalty, and it's pass interference.
Yeah, and that was number 21 there. Or excuse me, 24, Keegan Solovich for Hanover. And it did kind of look like it was incidental contact, but also I think the John Stark defender wasn't completely looking at the ball the whole time. He was mainly playing the receiver. And the refs thought there was enough contact. Throw the flag. Now Hanover's got a good chance to score another touchdown.
So that'll bring up 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 9:30 to go. Hanover really needs to punch one in here. Stafford under center. He gives to Putnam. Looked like he had a little daylight, but the hole closed quickly. And only good for maybe a yard or 2.
Our next Monday night high school game of the week will feature an exciting playoff matchup that you won't want to miss right here on YCN.
So 2nd down and goal from the 7 inside 9 minutes to play. Hanover needs to score 3 times. Stafford tosses it up to the end zone, has the man, it's caught and then dropped. The refs will say incomplete. Nicely done there by Stafford to at least get the ball away before he was tackled, but receiver couldn't hold on at the goal line. That'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, the John Stark defensive line really been stepping it up these last few plays. Stafford was definitely hurried on that one.
Stafford hurried again. This time he finds Putnam. A nice little gain, but needed to get into the end zone, and that'll bring up 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line. Well, we'll see what they do here. They've had some success with Putnam. Even when John Stark knows they're going to run it, Putnam has been able to get these 3-4 yards. So you wonder if they'll try that, or maybe something out in the flat. You got to make sure you get rid of the ball here. You can't take a sack. Got to at least throw it up. Stafford will draw it back. Bootlegs out to his left, tosses it into the end zone. It's intercepted at the end zone, at the goal line. And a little extracurricular activity there. But the refs jump in, the players jump in, and cooler heads prevail after the interception. Nicely done by John Stark, intercepted at the goal line. Number 31, that's Cooper Gorski. He's been active in the receiving game.
So yeah, and that to me, I mean, that really puts, that's really the game right there. I mean, Hanover's now down 19-42 with just under 8 minutes to go. And at the end of that play, a little bit of extra tackling there, and clearly some of the Marauder frustration is boiling over. But yeah, the John Stark defense very strong tonight, and Gorski there with that interception just about wraps this game up.
And even though it looked like Hanover maybe had gone a little feisty, they called a penalty on John Stark. The refs had a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So that's why they start with the ball at their own 5, only half the distance, and Hanover sends basically the house. They're trying to catch this John Stark quarterback off guard. And they don't do that. An easy completion, and then a nice run after the catch, and another flag on the play.
That was Leaf Melou there. The reception, a nice run to the left. But let's see if this one's coming back.
Flag was towards the end of the play, so I don't know if it was a face mask on the tackle or a holding as he did as he completed the run. Personal foul on Hanover. That'll tack on 15 yards, and it looks like John Stark will march across the 50, 1st and 10 from the Hanover 45. So Hanover really frustrated after not able to convert and score the touchdown, and now John Stark looks like they're in control. Hanover needs to stay calm out there. Inside handoff. Nicely snuffed out there by Hanover defender.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Oil turning up the Heat Player of the Game when we'll pick the top performer in tonight's matchup.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Generals from the Marauder 45. McQuarrie dropping back, has a man in the flat.
Ooh.
Ball is on the field, it's loose, and the Marauders look like they have it. And a penalty flag, that one is clearly on the Generals.
Yeah, number 7 there, Leaf Melou.
So
Little
Hanover,
extra contact there.
Hanover gets the ball. Frustrated defender of the Generals with an extra shove. So Hanover will get the ball. They'll march off the penalty yardage. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we've marched off the penalty yardage on the field. First down and 10 for Hanover at the General 36. Give is to Putnam. Goes for a couple yards. 6:30 to go here in the game. Another turnover by the Generals. They've had, after a very clean first half, they have thrown an interception and fumbled it in the second half, giving Hanover just a little bit of life, but Hanover now needs to work pretty quickly as they need 3 scores. Stafford drops back, has a man, and just overthrown.
And that was Sam Ives there, number 18, almost making that catch. And he had to change his direction. Just a little bit overthrown by Stafford.
So 3rd and 8 here from the 34. Need to pick up these yards to convert. They'll have 2 chances to do it as they'll be in 4th down mode if they can't pick it up here. Stafford drops back, goes to the outside, and it's intercepted by the defender, number 26 of the Generals.
And that was Manny Biscaderos there with the interception, and now with under 6 minutes left to play.
That one might finally do it.
Yeah, I really think that one is... It's really going to end Hanover's hopes of coming back in this game. But, you know, and this is unfamiliar for Hanover this year to be down by this much late in the game. As we said, they came in 8-0. It looks like they're going to pick up their first loss of the year.
Little confusion there by the General offense. McQuarrie, not sure if he was supposed to hand it off or not. He took it himself, gained a couple of yards on the keeper that was not designed to be a keeper. So 2nd and 8, clock moving, approaching 5.5 minutes to play in the game. Big hole there for the John Stark running back. Number 26 on the carry. That's Biscaduras, who intercepted the pass. And that'll bring up 1st down, Generals. Now you see John Stark being a little bit more deliberate all night. They don't run a hurry-up offense, but they do run that no-huddle offense. You see the boards on the other side of the field being held up, calling their plays, a college style of offense. No huddle. And up the middle again goes the running back.
Our replays are being brought to you by Kasasa. Free checking that rewards in cash each month. Ask for Kasasa at Claremont Savings Bank. Qualifications and rules apply. See bank for details. Member FDIC.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 6 from the 37. McQuarrie taking his time in the shotgun. Another handoff, and that'll go for 3 yards across the 40. Clock moving here, approaching 4 minutes. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide on a chilly evening here in Hanover. The Marauders look like they will taste defeat for the first time this season. Possibly relinquishing that #1 seed. Nice gang tackle there by the Marauders in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. So Generals on to punt. 3.5 minutes to go. One last ditch effort here for the Marauders to maybe do something. Put some more points on the board.
Stay tuned at the end of today's gridiron matchup for the Valley Regional Healthcare Staying Healthy preventative play of the game.
Mosenthal back to return the punt. Standing at his own 26-yard line. Punt is away. Waving it off. Almost hits the Hanover blocker. And that'll be down inside the 20. That's where Hanover will take over with 3:02 to go. We'll step aside. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. 3:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Hanover with the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They trail 42-19. Stafford back to pass. Overthrown and intercepted. And John Stark will take over just like that. One play intercepted.
Yeah, that's 26. Manny Biscaderos had a big impact on tonight's game. I believe that's his second interception.
Yes.
Only within a few minutes here.
Right.
And this John Stark team's really showed up to play tonight. From literally the first kickoff to the end of this game, when they returned that 97-yard kickoff to start the game, really shocked Hanover. It's really been all John Stark ever since.
So 1st and 10. Ball at the 21-yard line. You got to imagine John Stark content to get a couple first downs, or at least one first down here, and then run out the clock. They'll give it to Buscaderos. And he'll gain 4 or 5 yards. Clock moving here. Hanover will suffer their first defeat. They'll fall to 8-1. Still get into the playoffs. Most likely still get a home game. And we'll be back next week for a playoff game, as Andrew mentioned. So 2:20 to go. John Stark taking their time, getting to the line of scrimmage. They don't really huddle up, as we said. They're kind of that no-huddle offense. And they took a little too much time. So a delay of game. 2:09 to go here in the game. And John Stark leading 42-19. John Stark falling last week to Bow, their first loss of the season, and then handing Hanover what seems to be what will be their first loss of the season. 2nd and 10. And the tackle in the backfield made by the Marauders, and with 2 minutes to go, it's time to give out some of our awards.
Yeah, the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Oil turning up the heat player of the game. I think we have to give it to John Stark's senior, Leaf Malou. He's really been a force tonight. He scored a number of touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. And then, of course, we also have our Valley Regional Healthcare Staying Healthy preventative play of the game. And we're going to give that to the opening kickoff touchdown return, a 97-yard return from Leaf Malou. He's really been a major player, major contributor in this John Stark win. And really that kickoff return John Stark didn't look back. I think they then took a 21 or 28-point lead at that point. And he's really been huge for the Generals tonight.
Yeah, Malou had the opening kickoff, 97 yards. As you mentioned, they took that 28-0 lead after the touchdown, making it 28-7 for the Marauders. Malou gets his second touchdown of the game just before the half on a 26-yard reception, making it 35-7. So he had the opening kickoff that stunned Hanover, then he answered them right before the halftime break. So obviously it was all John Stark from the beginning of this game. Hanover looked like they were trying to mount a little bit of a comeback there in the third quarter, but it was just too little too late.
Yeah, that third quarter coming out of the break, Hanover looked very strong. I believe they scored 2 straight unanswered touchdowns. But then John Stark, of course, got back in the game. They adjusted to Hanover's adjustments. And the Generals will take this one easily, 42-19.
So clock stopped here as a first down on the field. Substitutions coming in, wholesale substitutions for both squads. Hanover taking over. 47 seconds to go. They'll be content to just hand it off. And a tough end to the regular season for this Hanover team. Obviously, senior night, big night here. But they will take the loss and fall to 8-1. They still have the playoffs to focus on. And it would have been great to go undefeated. We saw last week a Windsor team go undefeated. Woodstock lose their first game in a battle of unbeatens. But it's only the regular season. They got another thing to play for, and that's in the playoffs. So you got to just recover, regroup, and focus on your next opponent. So that should do it as the clock winds down. Hanover content to let the clock run down. They lose on senior night to fall to 8-1, but they will have a playoff game. John Stark with the win moves to 8-1. Final score here, Andrew, 42-19, and basically, like you said, all John Stark from the beginning. Hanover could never recover.
Yeah, John Stark taking a 28-0 lead before halftime, and Hanover really just could not dig themselves out of the hole. They came out of the break looking very nice, scored a number of quick touchdowns, had a couple of key turnovers, but John Stark had just scored too many points to overcome. Hanover did their best, but they're going to take their first loss of the year.
So that's going to do it from Hanover. Thanks to our cameramen, Greg and Alex. For Andrew Zerhide, I'm Jeremy Stout. The final score for the final time. Hanover defeated by John Stark, 42-19. You've been watching the YCN Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week is brought to you by Valley Regional Hospital, where it's all about staying healthy. La Valley Building Supplies for home improvement and construction, from concept to completion. Kasasa, free checking that pays, now available at Claremont Savings Bank. And HR Clough, the home energy specialist and Kearsarge Heating Oils.